As pharma companies race to get a COVID-19 vaccine, there have been a growing number of anti-vaccination conspiracy theories online, according to analytics firm Predata. This could impact the number of people willing to get a vaccine when one is available. Here to break down the data is Eric Falcon, Predata Director of Analysis. Eric, thanks so much for joining us.
Yeah, I'm really glad to be here.
So just break down for us very quickly what Predata does, how it's different from other data analytics firms.
Yeah, happy to. At Predata, we look at the other side of the internet. Most web analytics firms out there are looking at what people are saying online, the content in social and traditional media. At Predata, we look at the web traffic analytics that in the aggregate tell us how online audiences are consuming information and how they behave on the internet. And for issues like misinformation, this is critical because we know it's out there. We see it in our Twitter timelines. We see it in our Facebook news feeds. The real question is it moving the needle? Is it changing the way people want to consume information? Is it changing their behavior? And that ultimately will determine whether or not the misinformation is going to be successful.
So some polls have seen people's willingness to have a vaccine fall. Did you predict that? And are you expecting it to bounce back, fall further?
Yeah, it's a steady trend we've been seeing since the summer. Really, we started to see this in July when companies like Moderna, AstraZeneca began to announce their positive early phase trial results for their coronavirus vaccines. And since that point, engagement with these anti-vaccination themes has steadily been building online. Since the beginning of September, as we've seen protests really across many European capitals against lockdown restrictions, citing various conspiracy theories. Those theories, particularly those implicating big pharma companies, have really been gaining traction online as well. So we've really been seeing that shift building since that point in July.
Wasn't Facebook supposed to take care of anti-vaxxer kind of groups before COVID-19? Why is this still popping up, and where's it coming from?
Yeah, I think it speaks to the power of these narratives and how much people are able to be swayed by them. I think that's what our analytics are showing, that however this information is getting out to people, whether it's through Facebook, whether it's through word of mouth, or even when it trickles up through traditional media outlets, regardless of how they're receiving it or where it's coming from, we're seeing that impact. It's changing the way they consume information. People are really engaging with the conspiracies. They want to learn more about who is behind it, what are the key pieces of information that go into building these very dangerous ideas, and that's what we're able to measure using Predata's analytics.
And Eric, your data has been helpful in predicting the possible direction of number of cases and hospitalizations, particularly in Europe.
Yeah, that's exactly right. I think what we see are early signs of that research that is taking place when an outbreak is emerging. People looking to take precautions and public health measures, whether that's disinfectants or things as simple as surgical masks or quarantining. We saw that in France at the end of July before cases began to surge there. More recently, we're seeing similar trends in places ranging from Italy to Iran. Those similar steady builds and engagement really since the middle of August around these themes, which would suggest people are preparing more so than they were over the summer to respond to a surge in cases.
Just quickly on the vaccinations and the anti-vax and the misinformation spreading, Eric, is there a particular insight that you can glean from that as far as what percentage of the population will not want to be vaccinated? And is it different than what experts are predicting?
Well, I think it's in line with what you're seeing from experts across the spectrum around flagging the real concern that the misinformation will limit people from actually going out and getting the vaccine once it's available. It's a key challenge for public health authorities and government officials around the world that even once pharma companies have made the vaccine available, can we convince people to go and get it? I think what our analytics are underscoring is that the threat is real. And I think most disturbingly, at least from our perspective, the threat is there even before the vaccine is available. This is starting to mobilize. And so public health authorities, government officials, and pharma companies altogether are going to have to begin combating this information now as opposed to waiting until the vaccines are on the market and they're already convincing people to try and go get it.
Shepard Smith here. Thanks for watching CNBC on YouTube.